Hi everyone, I'm back again. And today I'm going to be doing the Synastry chart between Lisa Bonet and Lenny Kravitz. This Synastry chart is really interesting because there's a lot of references to music and unconditional love and friendship. So I'm going to get started. His Juno, Calliope, Pallas conjuncts her Sun, Neptune, and Destiny. Now, in this aspect, Juno has to do with marriage. And since it's conjuncting her Sun, there's definitely going to be one. Also, he brought into the relationship is music and wisdom and good counsel, because that's what Calliope and Pallas represent. And this is all conjuncting her Sun, a very important luminary in a Synastry chart. And also, her Destiny asteroid is conjuncting her Sun and Neptune as well. So there's this, it's a destiny sort of connection between the two. And also spiritual, which I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm going to run through all of the aspects and you'll see how it all ties together. Now, in her natal chart, Sun is conjuncting Neptune, and people who have this, it's a hippie bohemian vibe associated with a Sun-Neptune conjunction. And these people are free-spirited, and they're really good at divine guidance. And they can emotionally merge with the universal life force. Picture people who carry rain sticks or yoga instructors. That's the vibe of Sun-Neptune. Now, her Venus, Ceres, Arado, and Sappho conjuncts his spirit. Venus is a love planet, and her Venus is holding hands with Ceres, which has to do with love as well, and also Arado, and that has to do with poetry, and Sappho, highbrow eroticism, arts, and literature. So she loves music, she loves poetry, she loves the arts, and her Venus is conjuncting his spirit. So he brought spiritualism into this relationship, and she loved all of these aspects that connected with his spiritualism, and it's like a spiritual relationship. Her Agapanor, South Node conjuncts his midheaven. Now, I don't have his birth time. It has a Rodin rating of C, listed at 10:11 p.m., and the original source isn't known. So this aspect is contingent on his birth time, but I'm putting it in here anyway because this to me really does make sense. Agapanor has to do with unconditional love and friendship, and her South Node conjuncting his midheaven, this has to do with a possible past life karmic connection, and she helps to further his career with this conjunction. And her Agapanor is there as well. And there's love, friendship, and a connection that's possibly based on a past life experience. So that to me makes sense. Now, in his natal chart, his Ceres and Amor conjuncts his South Node. Whatever conjuncts your South Node, you'll be very comfortable with these energies. And we have two major love asteroids here, Ceres and Amor. So this reminds me when I saw this, of that song, Let Love Rule. That is exactly what this conjunction, the energy, that's the energy. Also, his Venus is conjuncting his North Node at 4 degrees, and that's the basic theme of your life. So he's got Venus, the love planet. So I think, to me, it would seem like with these aspects that he's like the type of person that would give the shirt off of his back for someone. And love and unconditional friendship is really important for him in a relationship because his Venus is conjuncting his Agapanor, the same asteroid conjuncting his midheaven from Lisa. So Venus, love planet, conjuncting his Agapanor, that's what he looks for in a woman. That's what he deems to be really important if he gets involved with someone. That woman has to have love and unconditional friendship for him. Now, this next aspect also has to do with his birth time. And this one really does make sense to me because he actually validated it. Her Merlin, Magian, and Eros conjuncts his vertex at 2 degrees. And Merlin and Magian, those asteroids, both of them holding hands, this has to do with magical qualities, hypnotic effects, waving a magic wand. And he said that the relationship between the two of them was very magical and spiritual. So this makes me think that it's possible that birth time is correct. And her Eros is conjuncting his vertex as well, and that has to do with eroticism. Now, her Jupiter conjuncts his Apollo and Sappho. And Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system, so it magnifies the energies of whatever it conjuncts. And in this case, Apollo. Apollo was the Greek god of beauty and the arts. And there's a musical ability as well involved in this. And Sappho there, I've already explained that energy, arts and literature. So she magnified these energies, and that's why he said that he was inspired by her. And I think she also helped him to write some songs. So that's where this comes into play as well. Her Impala conjuncts his North Node. Now, I've explained before, whatever conjuncts your North Node from the other person, that will be the basic theme of the relationship. And in this case, her Impala. And that has to do with, like I said before, it really coincides with her personality. It means running free, being a free spirit. Ultimately, you're a free spirit, and you have that hippie bohemian sort of vibe. And that was the theme of the relationship. One of the themes. Because all of the other asteroids come into play as well. His Hermione conjuncts her Lilith, and Lilith has to do with raw sexuality. So Hermione, again, magical qualities, a sort of ethereal, sort of intimate relationship that's magical and ethereal. Now, his Mars conjuncts her Amichetia, and that asteroid has to do with friendship. So she brought that to him in the beginning, and that's, like I said, very important for him. And she matched his expectations when it came to unconditional love and friendship. And they started out as friends first. Her Serendipity conjuncts his Ascendant, 3 degrees. You find something that you're not really looking for, and it's a surprise. And it's just like, wow, here she is. And, or he, when they got together, there was this, oh, it's a serendipity. I think they met in an elevator. It was by happenstance. And it was a very magical sort of energy that happened between the two of them when serendipity stepped in. Now, her Mars and Descendant conjuncts his Lust and Erato. And here again, her Mars conjuncting his Erato, romantic songs, poetry, and writing. So this indicates to me that she helped him to write some of his music, and his Lust is conjuncting her Descendant. So there's lust involved, and music, and Mars, power, and fire that brought this into fruition. Her Delphine conjuncts his South Node, and whatever conjuncts your South Node, you'll be comfortable with that energy from the other person. If it's a good asteroid, if it's a negative one, and you'll tend to be in denial about it or explain it away. But Delphine has to do with visionary qualities and almost a telepathic sort of energy that she brought into the relationship, which really coincides with her Sun conjuncting her Neptune. And now, what conjuncts her North Node from him? This is really interesting as well, because his Sedna, Orpheus, and Lamia conjuncts her North Node. So the theme of this relationship had to do with a separation, pain, Lamia has to do with pain, and Sedna has to do with betrayal and separation. And Orpheus has to do with, this is fascinating to me because Orpheus in Greek mythology was a legendary musician and had, he was a renowned poet, and he had he was talented with prophecy as well. So that was the theme of the relationship for her. And when we have Sedna and Lamia there was pain on both sides. And the betrayal and separation, I think he said, I just couldn't be in the marriage anymore. My head wasn't there, and all of a sudden it ended. So to me that would signify betrayal. Like, we're married and all of a sudden the relationship ended. But actually it really didn't. It just changed into something else, because you can't, there's too much connection here with love and friendship that they will always have that bond. So that's all I have today, and I hope you enjoyed this interpretation, and I will be back shortly. So hit the subscribe button to stay in the loop. Have a nice day.